have the break. Thank you. All right, so now let's explore the topic of empathy, which is one of the skills in the matrix. And in a moment, I'll be sharing my screen and taking you through what it means. So let's see if I can do that. And oh, I forgot to say something. I'll be sharing my screen and talk about empathy, my own experiences of that. And one thing that I just recently found, which inspired me, that I want to share with you. And then afterwards, I also want to give you the opportunity to go into an exercise activity in groups of 3. And if you, for some reason, don't or cannot take part in these, in this exercise, some people you may have noticed already have put it into the name or breakout or something. You can also just put an X in front of your name. Then Wolfgang will know how to sort you into groups or not into the breakout sessions, which will be in groups of 3 in about 15 minutes or 20. And I'll repeat that again, but just now, let me just jump into my presentation. So I hope you can see that. I'm trusting that somebody will yell if you don't see it. Okay. So here go. So I'll be talking on empathy, and what we mean with empathy in the matrix is to be present with another's experience with unconditional acceptance of the person. So I'll say it again, but just here already, it's not unconditional acceptance of whatever other people do. We don't have to put up with anything. It's just we try to be unconditional with the person as a human being. And as you have, if you've been here for a few hours, you've seen this before. In this matrix, we have these 4 stages of the skill being unskilled, awakening, capable, or integrated. And when we are unskilled, we are not even aware in the sense that, and in this case, that we could be accepting the person, but we just habitually respond to the other, either with sympathy or advice or even criticism or shifting the focus on ourselves or whatever we do habitually, just because we learned how to respond to someone. So someone drags us into an NBC training and we become aware of that skill. So still, while we are learning this, we easily get lost in the story and we ask about context or details. We just go into a normal chat. Sometimes we are able to guess observations, feelings, needs, requests, and sometimes with the support of the lists of feelings and needs lists. And we have a dawning intention to give space to the other person, maybe even before we know how to do that. So we grow our capacity to do that. And we are then capable of being with someone without trying to lead or push them, and to reflect the other's experience without affirming or adding our own opinion or evaluations to that. And when we've practiced that, the skill becomes integrated to the point that we are naturally focused and even energized by holding empathic space for another person. And it's easy for us to be in unconditional acceptance of a person. And I just want to say here, as we've also heard before, this can be different for different situations, of course, where we are in this matrix. And I just want to tell a short story about myself. I was coming back from a 5-day training, and I was floating here in this integrated space. I was so energized by being able to support other participants through their processes, be in witnessing their pain and supporting them through their fears or anger. And then I was coming back to my parents to take my kids home, who've been there for a couple of days. And it took about, my father was picking me up from the train station, and it took about 30 seconds in the car seat next to him that I was right here criticizing him and shifting a focus on to myself and stuff. So so I was so surprised at that moment how fast I lost the ease that I had experienced before. So this happens, and we can still grow the skill in supportive environments of trainings. That's why we train, to grow the skill, so that in the moments when this happens again, we have an easier time and a shorter time to notice it and to grow out of it and maybe stop what we're doing right there. Okay, so I want to go on to why we do that, why this works. I put in there in quotation marks. And I learned something by reading Carl Rogers, who was a teacher of Marshall Rosenberg's. And he has the story about potatoes that I want to share with you because I found it so inspiring. So what Carl Rogers wrote about these potatoes in the cellar of, I guess, his parents, when it becomes a little bit warmer, they start to grow these very thin, white, not quite stems, which try to reach up to the light, to a tiny window, dark window. And Carl Rogers asked himself, why are they doing that? Why are they not waiting until they're put into the ground? Why do they look so differently from potatoes that are put into the ground, which then grow thick green stems and grow into bushes? And he found out, not surprisingly, that the development depends on the environment, and the growth form changes with the environment when the environment changes. So when I take this potato and put it into the ground, it still grows into a green bush. And what was most inspiring for me is what to read about this is this: I can look at it and see life wanting to live, life wanting to evolve, unfold itself, get a chance to growth. And that is one side of empathy for me, to be in touch with my love for the life force independently of its current manifestation. So I can look at the potato and I can think, oh, it's all shriveled up and doesn't even look nice, and will it provide me for the next seasons? And I can also try to, and I invite you all now to try to consciously tap into this. Wow, there is life in the potato. There's potential for growth inside this potato, and it wants to happen. And tap into a sense of awe or appreciation, for this life. And this is, I don't know, I'm getting goosebumps when I'm in that state. And I just invite you to tap into that. I'm silent for a few seconds so you can try to experience. I actually do want to stop here for a moment and come back to seeing you, and maybe see just if you go to the reactions, and if you felt something for this potato, some tenderness for this potato, I just love for you to show maybe thumbs up or something, a reaction. So I don't see all of you, but to see some hearts, some thumbs. Thank you. And also with this, you can make it easier for you. If the potato really didn't speak to you, you can also find your own personal anchor for this. For me, it's even only imagining having an infant baby on my arms. And then I feel this, my heart flowing over, and I feel this love for the life that is wanting to happen right there. And others have this with a certain flower blooming, or a tree, or a beloved pet. And whatever it is for you, to know your anchor, that you can come back to that bodily sensation of wow, of love, that helps during these processes. Okay, I go back because there's one more slide I want to show. So the other things I said, the dependence on the environment. So I also learned from Carl Rogers this, that life manifests into its beautiful potential in a nurturing environment. And in a not so nurturing environment, life still manifests, but it just manifests in response to the environment. And as a potato needs healthy soil and rain and sunlight for the life to fully bloom, and for all I know, potatoes also need empathy, but for humans, we also need water and exercise and stuff, but we also need empathy to thrive. So for humans, the most nurturing environment is one of empathy. One of empathy as in loving the life force independently of its current manifestation. So the other side to empathy is the trust that this nurturing environment is actually enough, that the nurturing environment of an empathic space, there's something missing in here, allows humans to unfold their potential basically on their own. So like we don't pull at the stems of the potato to make it grow, we just provide a nurturing environment, and we don't push and pull humans, well we do, but we can refrain from pushing and pulling humans into the direction that we want them when we have the trust that providing a nurturing environment helps them, supports them to unfold their potential. This doesn't mean you cannot offer a question here and there, or just help push through a boundary here and there. But it's actually that when you want to be, when you want to be empathic with another person, it's most often it's doing less than what you think you need to do, and holding the space and focusing on the space and on that trust and on that love. Okay, so let me stop this and see if there's any reactions or questions on that. And I see now the chat on potatoes, yes. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have a comment or question to make, and maybe electronically it'd be easier for us to see with people spread out on lots of screens. Okay, so I don't see any, so I would now, oh yeah, Nicole.
Hi, sorry, I was slow to respond. I would just really love to comment that when I saw your description of empathy as loving the life force, it stuck out to me, as I'm sure it stuck out to others, because I realized in a difficult relationship, I can love the life force that I see there. I don't think it means I love the person, because I kind of equate love with joy. but I realized I can have compassion for that person. And I just realized those are two very different things. And wow, that I can have the latter seems really helpful. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And also for the joy part that, yeah, we don't always enjoy what the people are doing or how they're showing up or how they're reacting to us. Yes. And we can maybe have compassion. Thank you for that. Juliana.
Thank you so much for this beautiful way of looking at empathy, and I just wanted to ask you, like you talked about really holding the baby in your hand so your heart opens in love, for that person. So how do you kind of draw the line that keeps you from getting into sympathy, and how would you define that difference between sympathy and empathy? Please, can you share?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, how to define the line between sympathy and empathy, between I would say sympathy being drawn into the experience of the other person. Like I'm feeling what the other person is feeling, and to the extent that I'm not also aware of what else is there, maybe cannot, like, let's say the other person is telling about a conflict with someone else, and I can, with sympathy, I tend to take on the same judgments about the other persons, and with empathy I can say, yeah, I understand how these judgments would arise in you, at the same time as holding the other person also with empathy. And this is really a fine line inside of me. Am I in love with life and everything, or am I over the boundary and saying, yes, I'm more like you right now, feeling what you're feeling, thinking what you're thinking, and more going into with the other person into their judgments. I'm not sure if that helped, but it might help to take a breath and just ask yourself, am I in sympathy or empathy? And then you will know, and you can take a step back and come to yourself, see what is inside of me. Okay, forwards. Thank you. Okay, so I want to give you the opportunity to experience for your own. And this is in groups of 3. This is what I want you to do. So I give you a few minutes to say hi and to decide who's timekeeper, who's A, B, and C. And then A talks for only 2 minutes about a tiny conflict, a really small conflict, because it's just a short of time. And B reflects back what B heard from A, and B try to keep everything of yourself out of it. Just say what you heard A say without any interpretations or advice from yourself. Just reflect it back. And C is the one really doing the exercise, because C, during these 3 minutes, tries to hold the focus on loving life as it shows itself in that moment, and do it actively and silently. So you don't see, can relax into that, because C has nothing to say, nothing to do, and just relaxing into feeling in C's body how it would feel to love life as it unfolds in front of you. And then you switch roles, and you switch roles again. So everyone gets to get every role, and then you have a few minutes to talk about what you experienced, and maybe celebrate or ask yourself questions or whatever. Okay, so is there any questions? Juliana, your hand is it still raised, or do you have a question? Okay, thank you. I'll put
No question. I was just rejoicing about loving life as it shows itself. So beautiful.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, your electronic hand is still raised, so I didn't know it was. Yeah.
Thanks.
So I put you this this piece into the chat. So you have it there. Oops. And Wolfgang, do you have the breakout sessions ready?
Nearly. People keep on moving, but I think I have groups of 3 and 1 group of 2, as it looks like.
Okay, so the group of 2 will have more time. And okay, great. So this is it. Okay. So I see no more questions. Go ahead. It's 17 minutes all in all. That seems long now, but it's for 3 people. It's really not that long. Okay. Have fun.
I go.
Hi, Eva.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, Wolfgang. Hi. You might want to share your screen to the rooms, the breakout rooms. You want me to talk to you how to through that, or?
Do you think it's necessary? When you did that like 2 hours ago, it was a bit distracting for me, actually.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Do you
Okay,
think
then don't
it's,
do it.
if I just do it?
Oh, never mind. I see that you put the information in the chat, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought about doing that, and when I saw you, the transcript came down, so there was always something to read.
That was an artifact of the way I use PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
So PowerPoint has a transcription capability built in, and I turned it on to experiment, and I didn't realize it was doing it. I didn't turn it off. Sorry, I see Iris has got her camera on.
Okay.
The other 2 partners is away, so they have no response.
So yeah, it's Iris, yeah?
Yeah.
So maybe Wolfgang.
I put you to room number 7, if that's okay for you. So where's Iris?
Thank you for that feedback.
In which room have you been, Iris?
I forgot.
I'm just checking here. Relax. I will find you.
I understood that Iris's other 2 partners were not there.
Yes,
so...
and I'm trying to transfer, but I have to find her in which room.
Oh, okay, okay, see.
She was in room 8.
In room 8, thank you. So now we could bring you to room 11. Iris, here you are, verschieben. Off you go. Yeah. Who else?
But Eric, if you think it would be helpful to put the slide into the rooms, you could talk me through, and if there was just a glitch from.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Well,
I just wanted to say something. I just wanted to say something. That's all it was. I just wanted to say something. I wanted to contribute. I want to be heard. I want to be understood.
I was there for your session and I really enjoyed it. And I like the I like the how you say that animations.
Animation.
And how you really talked us through the steps in the matrix. Yeah, which I cut a bit short here, but then I knew people likely had seen it before, heard it before.
Well, I feel like you got more interaction than I did, which I really liked. So I thought you gave just the right level of explanation, then people started to talk. Like I felt like I was talking a lot.
Oh, that wasn't my experience. I mean, I think we had a good exercise afterward. Yeah, and harvesting.
Thank you, Eva.
So I was happy with that.
So Eva, please let me know if I should broadcast something to the breakout participants.
Yeah.
Now we have 12 minutes left. 12 minutes and a bit.
Maybe about halfway through something, but that doesn't really make sense because there
are three. Usually there are three, yeah. So I could tell them 12 minutes left and 6 minutes left. So, or would you like something more relational? No, just if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that so they have a sense of being held.
Yes, yeah. So for me, it was quite confusing since some people put an X, some put it somewhere else. And so people were coming back and forth here, but I think now all of them are in breakout rooms.
I think that happened in the other sessions too, so.
Even some, as I see, who have changed afterwards to no breakout room, but they are still in the room, so. Let's see. There's also a group of 2. Somebody did not join in.
So they will handle it.
Ah, there's, I transferred Jennifer. She's alone. She was not supposed to be alone, but the other person did not.
I guess people left. I mean, they leave in the middle of sessions too.
Yeah. What about this? It's like herding fleas. This one is not. Okay. Humans are difficult creatures. Looks pretty okay here. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. And
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, we can ask anybody here in the main room is intending to go to a breakout. Have I overlooked somebody? Please raise your hand in that case.
Right.
And you have read the chat, Eva. There are some people who said it resonated with them to do less. You've seen that?
No, I actually didn't.
It was Onsa and Purva.
Yeah.
Beyond that, the chat seemed to be pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Ching Ching mentioned really interesting lesson from the potatoes.
I read that, yes. Yeah, we'll see what the harvesting will bring. I was sad to have missed Catherine Cadden because I thought it was at 7, but it was at 6. Have you been there?
Same here. I found it very, very lately, and I went there. But to be honest, I was a bit upset in preparing all that stuff here, and I participated in the breakout, and I was not fully aware. I have to admit. At least I noticed that one.
Okay.
And Jesse will come later on. He's also another co-author of that Ongo book.
Yeah, I won't have time to be there after this call. I will watch the recordings.
Hello, Priyanka.
Hello.
Have I overlooked you, or did you come late?
Oh, I just came in. Don't worry about it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
So there are breakout sessions in progress for another 7 minutes. And
Okay.
yeah, but
No worries.
But-
Danke.
Say it again, please.
No worries. I'll just wait.
yeah, and we are all welcome to chat, to use the time for ourselves or whatever. Yeah, maybe if you want, Priyanka, I can show you what they're doing in the breakout sessions.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So just pull up the, no, that's not it. I think that's it. So they're in groups of 3 and one person talks for 2 minutes, one person reflects, and the other is trying to hold an empathic consciousness during those 3 minutes, just the focus of loving life as it shows itself. And we did a bit of exercise before that, for that, and just notice in your body how it feels. And then they switch through the rows. That's the exercise for the moment.
Thank you. Looks like it's really lovely one.
Yeah, it's a very short time to talk and reflect back, but it's just about noticing what happens if you don't have to do anything, just love. Right.
So hello, Simi. Is that the way your name is pronounced?
Simi has been here before.
Ah,
That is how my name is pronounced. No, I just logged in. I didn't want to attend the breakout room because I knew I would be disturbed. I was expecting something, so I didn't want to step halfway through a breakout room. But I was there at the beginning of the session. I only stepped out
Okay.
when the breakout started. It's not fair to leave a breakout session halfway through.
Okay, I just wanted
Right.
to make sure that I did not overlook you. Thank you.
Thanks.
You've been kind enough to assign everyone. Thank you.
Wolfgang, I just have a technical question. I'm on my Android tablet and
Yeah.
I'd love to put the Bluetooth speaker on because the tablet speaker is not that loud, but I'm unable to do that on Zoom. Do you have any idea how I can do that?
On Zoom, it's a bit different. To be honest, I work now on my desktop here. What exactly you want to connect with a Bluetooth? Oh, please say it again.
Connect my tablet to a Bluetooth speaker so that I can hear everything that's happening on Zoom on the speaker. But
So
it
I would
just-
suggest that you go to the settings, and then very much at the top, there is a Bluetooth. And there you can, if you tap that, you can see which devices are connected so far. Have you already done this?
Yes, I've done it, but my tablet is connected to Bluetooth, but not the Zoom meeting.
Ah, so then you might go to the audio settings within Zoom. And maybe there a variety of devices is offered. And then you have to switch that. But now I think people are coming back from the
Okay.
breakout.
I'll
Sorry.
look at that. Thanks, Wolfgang.
Okay, some people are coming back from the breakout sessions, and the sessions themselves go on for another 3 minutes, so will not be everyone here, but if you have something to share or share where you came back, how you are, please let us know. Answer, did you want to speak? I just saw you shifting, but go.
People seem to be pretty impressed by your presentation and the breakout exercise.
Why do you say no one says anything? Okay. Okay, so in a minute, everyone will be back. Then we'll have a bit of time to harvest. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm guessing the breakout rooms are done now. So we have about 10 minutes time to harvest. What have you experienced? What came up? What were difficulties? How have you been feeling? Who wants to share something? And you make it easier for us if you raise your electronic hand, because there's more people here than we can see on one screen. maybe what did you take from this exercise? Or yes, Juliana.
So I was just realizing that when I'm angry, it's so difficult for me to give empathy. And I need to give myself empathy first before I can even give the other person empathy. So that came across to me very, very strongly when I was sharing. So thank you for this. Thank you so much, Eva. And I really loved what you shared. Yeah, thank you so much for all.
Thank you, and thank you for this insight, which we and but putting it so concisely. When I'm angry, I need empathy for myself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So who else? Ching Ching.
Yes, thank you, Eva, for this wonderful exercise. It's amazing that only 3 minutes that we can share our story and also receive the empathy. It's very interesting that even though we just met this time, and then we can connect with each other when we heard when was the other person feel or was the other person longing for. I can see that it's kind of magic of empathy that connects people to each other, even though we come from different places around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and that it doesn't always have to take long. It's just a short amount of time. Yeah, thank you. And I'd be interested if some of you experienced. Oh, Jian, go on.
Something Ching Ching said really struck me, which was that it only takes 3 minutes, and it's absolutely true. When I was doing the reflecting for my partner, it's so easy as an outsider to see the feelings and needs when I'm not the one caught up in it. When I was the one sharing the conflict, having the two of them, the two partners, hold space for me really let me, it's the slowness of it, right? The fact that they're listening without pushing me and I can speak slowly. Maybe my brain is just a bit slower than most people's, but when I can speak slowly, I can figure it out for myself. And as I'm speaking, I'm like, oh, this is so obvious. Why do I make this a few observational mistakes? I made a few feeling mistakes and a few needs mistakes, confusing especially needs with strategies. As I do it slowly, I'm like, this is, I don't want to say it's easy because that sounds a bit overconfident, but I'm like, it's such an easy conflict for me to go and solve now. Whereas before, I almost don't even know I'm in conflict. I don't even note that I'm in conflict. I just know that something is uncomfortable and I don't like that situation. I don't know. It's not to say I don't know what to do about it. I don't even know that I should be doing something about it. So just want to be very grateful for this process that you've led us through. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and for mentioning the slowness and the if we make the choice to just slow down and maybe say to someone, hey, can you listen to me for a couple minutes? Just listen, and then it sorts in our own heads what we are thinking, what we are feeling. This is so helpful. Yes, thank you. I'd be interested in people, how you experience that silent role, that trying to feel in your body the sense of loving life. Was that something you could do that you enjoyed or that felt helpful at all? Rory.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I really felt that the potatoes in the cellar analogy is a really wonderful image that I want to try and use more often in the future, because it actually is quite hard to, I think, remember in the moment that the person maybe you're having your unmet needs triggered by, is also just a life force seeking expression. I found that then thinking about that person as a potato, just like it's a little bit silly. It just sort of snaps you out of the intensity of the feeling and just helps me put things in perspective. And the image of the potato in the cellar with the thin white roots, still trying their best to get up to the window, was really helpful for bringing a fresh breath of empathy. So thank you so much for that.
I'm glad it was helpful, yeah. And I'm a bit worried that people might be offended by being compared to potatoes from me. I mean, and I thank you that it was for letting me know that it was inspiring for you. So, yeah, and I especially enjoyed your phrasing. I forgot it now. Life-seeking expression. That is really something I want to remember. Yeah. Purva, if that's how you pronounce it.
Yes, Purva. Thank you so much for this experience. And I love the metaphor analogy. While I listened, I come from a tropical area. So the rain means a lot to us. Whether it is the plants or the people who are feeling the humidity and the claustrophobic feeling, and the plants are waiting for the rains. The earth is parched. And when there is this breeze and the rain that comes, and everything, including human beings, get immersed and nourished, it is not the same as nourishing them with the irrigation or watering the plants or having a bath. The rainwater is very different. So I associate this with the rain, especially the first shower of rain, which brings in fresh breath. So empathy for me today on will be the first shower of rain. I can almost smell the mud smell that comes because of that. Thank you so much for this exercise.
Thank you for sharing this image. I have a sense of raindrops falling on myself right now, and I enjoy that as an image for nourishment. Yes. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we still have a few minutes left. If anyone wants to express anything more, or have a question, or ask a question. If not, I would just tell you maybe one more thing. Okay, I don't see a question. So let me, so let me just take 1 or 2 minutes to come back to these 4 steps in the matrix, and especially with the empathy step. And I read in the chat that some resonated with my words of doing less, especially with empathy. It's if I want to push into the next, I want to integrate this skill, then I'm making it harder for myself to get into a relaxation. And with the focus in the exercise on just witnessing the other 2 people interacting and holding the space silently, I was hoping to contribute to this. I'm actually this doing less, relaxing into the trust that the solution, the answers in the person themselves already. Okay, thank you. So Greg, final comment, and then I go to the phasing out and transitioning to the next.
Just a quick question. I know in those 4 steps, I thought I read about abstaining from leading the conversation. Can you elaborate on that? Did I see that correctly?
I didn't
When you're on the listening, when you're in the listening mode, you're listening to somebody explain their situation. To one of the skills is to abstain from leading the conversation.
Thank you. Yeah, now I got it. So so sometimes you have an idea, or if you would just do this and this, or if you could just see that the other person is only wanting to meet their need, and then I could maybe get into this, I could just nudge that person in that direction and say, hey, okay, I get what you're feeling, and just if you could just shift your attention towards that. This is leading, and this is not helpful most of the times, because
Geen geluid. Nou, waarom niet meer?
Because it's like pulling at the stems of the potato, making it grow, and growing out of itself. This is well, healthier. I would say this is what's working. So just provide the space and the trust that the person will find this on their own. The persons will find it on their own. Does that make sense to you, Greg? Instead of leading? Okay, so I want to take the last couple minutes and remind you again, we are here to celebrate the book launch of Jim Menschke's new book, Pathways to Nonviolent Communication, and explaining the pathways to liberation, which is a tool that has been around for a decade. I already used it during my learning processes of NVC, and thanks for the link, Wolfgang, in the chat to that. And I want to remind you again that this is a fundraiser for CNVC. Buy lots of books, and from what I read earlier in the chats, I already think that outside the US, it's probably expensive to buy it directly from Puddle Dancer Press, and there may be other options. There may be better options for you to buy the book than directly from CNVC. Anyway, you could also consider donating to CNVC, maybe on a regular monthly basis. There's also a link in the chat. Wow. Yeah, it's also on Kindle. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. And you can leave feedback about today's event. Do you also have that link ready? Wow. Very happy to have you as tech support here, Wolfgang. Very happy to have seen all of you and that you engaged with us here with me and listened to me, and for all your feedback. And I want to invite those who want to unmute themselves and say goodbye, and maybe words of thanks, maybe thanks to Jim for giving us this book.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
And of course, there's this event goes on for lots of further hours, and I'm actually right now, I don't know who's taking over next. My bad. I wanted to look this up.
I'm taking. Yeah.
Oh, Manasi. Hey, great. So happy to hand this over to you.